Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Panwo TV. Well, sorry I've been away for a while. I'm back now. Just to let you know, I've sent a letter to my bank. It goes like this. Dear Lloyds TSB, I am writing to you under Article 61 of the Magna Carta Libertatum of 1215 on the subject of conditions for lawful rebellion. And I'll just give the number of my personal loan and the number of my bank account. I have reviewed the loan agreement that I signed and that of the overdraft I've been using, and information has come to my attention that makes me suspect that the terms and conditions are misleading, unlawful, and may contravene Articles 10 and 11 of the Magna Carta Libertatum of 1215, as well as other documentations relating to the Declaration of Right of 1618 and other laws making up the Constitution of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland and United Kingdom Crown Colonies, Territories and Dependencies. Brackets. Notwithstanding more recent statutes of repeal which are also unlawful. Close brackets. Brackets. As an aside for your information, I should warn you that your lending policy may also contravene the constitutions of many other sovereign states across the world in which Lloyds TSB or its partners, clients and contractors may operate. Therefore, I am suspending all repayments on my personal loan and silver account overdraft until this matter can be resolved. I am also suspending all use of my Lloyds TSB silver account, my ISA account and my Lloyds TSB Super Saver account for any purpose whatsoever, in order to avoid the charge of being an accessory to a fraudulent and unconstitutional action and conspiracy to commit an action in breach of the aforementioned Constitution. This suspension will be lifted if and when this matter is resolved. Suggestions for resolving this matter. 1. I would like Lloyds TSB to arrange for me an expenses paid trip to the Bank of England in London. Brackets. This will cost approximately £23, £16 for a return ticket on the Oxford Tube coach service and another £7 for a ticket on the London Underground. Close bracket. There I wish to be allowed to view the gold bullion and deposit of coinage in the bank's vaults on which the promissory funds I was lent are backed up. I am happy to cooperate with any security arrangements thereof that the bank should require. 2. I would like to be presented with documentation that I can take away with me to be examined by a common law solicitor of my choice, which irrefutably proves that the promissory funds I was lent are directly backed up by the gold and coinage I viewed in the Bank of England's vaults. 3. In the event of suggestions 1 and 2 being fulfilled, I would like my loan agreement to be cancelled and replaced with a contract in accordance with the conditions of the Bills and Exchange Act of 1882. On the successful resolution of this matter, i.e. that my loan and silver account overdraft are in fact lawful and constitutional, I will immediately lift the suspension on my repayments of my personal loan and my repayments of my silver account overdraft. Thenceforth, all repayments on both will resume as per my new lending contracts. Also, I will resume all normal use of all my 3 Lloyds TSB accounts, if you give your permission, naturally. Please note, I will be unavailable for contact until Tuesday, September the 11th. Post will be stored for my collection. Please do not call until that date, as my landline is shared by others in my home. All calls may be recorded. Brackets. Fees. Please note, I charge a fee of £100 per every 10 words of your correspondence I'm required to read and reply to, but this is discounted to £150 per 20 words for a single letter of more than 100 words. I charge £500 per minute for phone calls. All invoices will be addressed to senders and callers by name. Yours sincerely, Ben. Brackets. Of the family Emlyn Jones, aka commonly known as Ben. I have sent this by recorded delivery. One copy is going to go to the bank's collection centre, and then I'm sending another copy to the CEO of the bank. The truth and conspiratorial... You see, This is what I've always realised, okay, because the truth and the conspiratorial movements are very multidisciplinary. They're a very holistic thing, and they cover a very wide variety of subjects. And as you know, I'm very keen on covering all those things. Government in politics, of course, but there's also law, medicine, there's industry, there's military forces, religion, education, science. I mean, the list is endless. I mean, they cover, the truth movement is basically relevant to almost every aspect of our life. You know, I've tried to make sure that Herpanwo is an organisation which addresses everything. We're a kind of jack of all trades but master of none. And I think there's one area I've neglected, and that, you know, especially in terms of my own personal activism, and that is economics. And I've got to remedy that, because economics is one of the most important areas of all these subjects. And I was inspired, you know, to quote my comedy character, you know, but you do nothing. Have you seen his videos, you know? There'll be links in the description box as usual, you know. Get off your arse and do something! You know, it's partly because I've been forced into it because I was discharged from the hospital portering service, and maybe that's what I needed. I think maybe, you know, it's an experience I might have needed to have, and, well, that's a big subject, but it's always possible, you know. But what happened was, right, a few months before I got sacked, I took out a personal loan, just a few £1,000s. It wasn't to buy a big fast car, it wasn't to go on a cruise to Thailand, it was so I could pay for a home to bring up my daughter. Rent, bills, things like that, council tax and stuff like that. And this has now left me in a position where I'm in the same debt trap as many other people are. And there's even entire nations in this debt trap. Greece and Ireland are in it. And it's especially bad in third world countries because they've got kids starving to death. And the government is just paying back this non-existent money, like this which you see here, these pieces of paper, and electronic money, which is not even printed like this. And it's paying it back to this International Monetary Fund, these banksters. That wonderful word coined by Anthony J. Hilder, which is used so much now, and it's so accurate. And debt is a millstone around the neck of a swimmer. That's what it is. It's tearing this world apart, and it's causing misery, it's causing injury, it's causing death on a huge scale, almost incalculable. But you know, you get these idiots like David Gauke. I don't know if you remember, he's the Treasury Minister. A couple of weeks ago, he said that tradesmen who use cash in hand are immoral because they're robbing the nation of revenue. You know, completely ignoring the fact that his government has just given £3.8 trillion to the banking system. He finds that he ignores that and just says, well, your builder or your plumber who you pay cash in hand is the one robbing the nation. Oh my God, you hypocritical bastard! What a buffoon! I don't think I've neglected this subject completely, because if you go to the Herpanwo blog and you go to the index, there's a section called the Post-Illuminati World, and there's a dozen articles in there where I talk about this, you know. But I think I need to make it a higher priority now. And now, all right, I know some of the people watching this film are going to say, they read my letter and they're going to say, you didn't say this quite right, Ben, or you got that bit wrong, Ben, or you should have done this instead, Ben. But you know, bear with me. I'm a beginner in this subject, really. I'm not a beginner, but I'm not as expert as some people. I'm not as specialised, and I'm happy for comments and advice from anybody. It's a letter. I based it on research that I've done over the last few years, and especially the last few weeks. I can correct any mistakes, and I'll keep you informed of any updates. Now, I'm the kind of person who likes to speak plainly, and I like to, whenever I do something, you know, I'm never satisfied with just finding a way to beat the system and stuff like that. You know, I have to make a distinct ethical statement in everything I do. But I tell you what, right? You know, it's a really strange thing. Just writing that letter has filled me with a feeling of, it's not quite joy, but it's a sense of overwhelming relief and contentment. It's like music to my ears to read those words. It's rather like when I destroyed my passport. If you remember that film, I cut up my passport, and that time when I sent that letter to the National Records Office where I was divorcing my statute law self. I'll put the links in the description box. It's as if just the mere words, just these words of truth and justice and freedom, it's as if they have their own internal energy. It's like I feel like I've been outdoors on a really cold day and I've been freezing my balls off and I'm icy and my fingers are shivering and numb, and I step into a warm room and all the heater's on and someone hands me a mug of warm coffee, you know. Or on the other hand, the other way round, you know, I've been sweltering away on a really hot sunny day, gone a long walk, I'm really thirsty, my throat's dry, it's hot and humid, sun's beating down, and I step into an air conditioned room and someone hands me a chilled glass of beer, you know. That's what it feels like. Just writing those words and reading them out. I really do recommend it. Well, I'll keep you posted with any updates. Hospital Port as Pride and Dignity stop the New World Order.